Pickaxe.
5, 4, 3, 2, live from Toronto, Canada! Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 905 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson. I'm very excited. You want to know why?
We have our very own Matt Bradford back with us this week.
Hey, you're a guest, official guest.
Keeping the Canadian seat warm as we must. Always.
Matt is here.
Matt is here.
I hear it's been well sat on.
Yes,
in the past
it
while, so good to
And
hear
also,
my boy Rise represented. Yeah.
Yes, you've been up to some stuff, right? We saw you tweeting that you were the voice of on Burger King during the Canadian Leafs game, or what are the Leafs?
Big game. Yeah, the Leafs were playing the Florida Panthers. Game 7, big game.
Yep.
I was watching in the bar with my parents because we were having dinner, and an ad comes on. My Burger King ad comes on.
Nice.
And my mom all right,
so
up.
What,
like, that's
are
you.
You?
That's your voice. I'm like, yeah.
Are you the king? Because Michelle and I actually talked about this.
We didn't know if you were the Burger King or you just
I said, no, Matt's like this. For a limited time only, get 2 Whoppers for $10.
Like, Whopper $5.99 meal. It's only on now. Grilled to your liking.
Exactly. Yep.
It was still a proud moment.
For a limited time only.
It was a proud moment. I've been doing that for 2 years now. I've been the voice of Burger King.
You need to get free Burger King.
Yeah, they don't give free Burger King. They just pay you and say goodbye.
All right, well, that's good. So Matt's been up to stuff. And you've been up to a lot of gaming. We're going to talk to you about Doom tonight, Claire Obscure, Savage Planet. I know you've been playing a lot of stuff that we have to catch up with you on. So we've got a big show tonight, and we're excited to talk to Matt. Of course, we are live right now on twitch.tv/John and Michelle. If you miss it, you can listen anywhere podcasts are. Good place, though, to listen is our app or in Discord because we have weekly bonus shows there. We have a whole 20-year back catalog and ad-free VGO if you support us. You can do that in Discord or on the app now. We're giving you multiple options. And you can win Doom, which we're going to talk about tonight again with Matt. Doom the Dark Ages from cdkeys.com. We're giving away 2 keys, another one this week. So come to our Discord on videogameoutsiders.com. It's free to enter and check out CD Keys if you want to save a few bucks on Doom, which is good too. Because I've been hearing some stuff about the sales here. It's 7 times faster than the last Doom, but lower sales. Like it's got 3 million sales, but 3 million people played rather. A lot of people played on Game Pass is what I'm trying to say. The Game Pass thing was a factor here this time around because of like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, listen, I bet you in the last month or two, a lot of people got Game Pass because they're hitting it out of the park every week.
They have. Apparently, 45% more people on PC in the past month. 45%.
Game Pass is, you're eating well. I mean, I've had so many amazing games on Game Pass the last couple months.
Oblivion.
Yeah, we've been trying to find the stats on this because you look up the stats, PS Plus had more subscribers like in 2024, 2023, but there's no like current stats.
Right.
I think Game Pass is, I don't know, Phil's killing it. He's crushing it.
It's been a good time, especially with Claire Obscure as well.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, did you, are you getting a Switch too?
Nah, I gotta wait for a game. There's just no reason for me right now. Are you? I assume you are.
Yeah.
He is, and he's very excited.
What are you playing? What are you playing first on your Switch 2?
Well, obviously Mario Kart World, right? What else? And then Donkey Kong.
Is Donkey Kong like the day one launch title?
Comes out in July. So, like a month later. That's pretty good.
So I don't know. So you pound the ground in Donkey Kong, you make little holes.
It looks like an action platforming destruction game. It looks fun to me. It looks like a fun game.
Does it look like Donkey Kong 64?
Well, I love Donkey Kong 64. That was a great, rare game. Doesn't get a lot of love.
I'll come close to the mic.
That's okay. Yeah, we want to hear you nice and clear because John and I have been kind of going to war about the Switch too. I'm sure, as you remember, he's excited about the idea of being excited for it.
I am.
And it's not
I just
natural.
don't know what you're gonna do when you get that in your house. I just
what are you talking about? It's gonna change. First of all,
you're gonna play a mediocre Mario Kart game that looks like current gen.
You know it's not mediocre for one.
I've seen the pictures.
The specs are out. This is a 30 series quality graphics chip in there. Yes, it is.
Yeah, of course.
With DLSS,
it looks like the Mario Kart.
It's got
the like mobile games, right?
Look closely. Look closely. It looks a lot better than you think.
No,
I don't think. I think you're just
thing I've ever heard.
Well, I think he's like just kind of glancing.
It looks better than you think. Matt has
are you
eyes,
studying?
John.
Are you studying? Are you really looking at it?
Am I zooming in on Princess Peach's chin?
Well, I don't know.
No,
it sounds like you're just kind of catching it in the corner of your eye. Like
I'll
you're not
tell
really
you, I legit saw a trailer. I'm like, is this the last one that they're using to lead into the new? No, it was that they're showing images of the new one. And
I know it's cool to hate this shit. I get it.
I don't think it is.
You know me. I like shit that people think is overrated.
He liked Veilguard and defended it to his death.
I love Veilguard.
Right. So he's
I'm
not going to
tell you the truth.
Yeah.
This doesn't.
I don't know. Listen, we're talking about 2 weeks from now. I'll have a fucking Switch,
and we're going to cover it. We may do a live unboxing.
We're
going to
cover
the
fuck out of this thing.
Yeah,
we're
it's going to be talked about.
Listen, I'm going to get a micrometer out and a scale. We're going to be going through the whole thing.
That's right. Now, Badger says Matt wouldn't lie. He's not a bag of tricks guy. That's true. I am the bag of tricks, according
Michelle
to John.
has her bag. She does. Once. This is a new thing, by the way. I figured this out finally after 20 years.
Yeah, that I got a bag of tricks.
Yes, because you have these little things that you see and you put them in a bag.
Okay.
And then when a topic comes up,
I've ever heard.
You slowly start opening your bag.
News a bag of tricks. News is my bag of tricks.
He calls recalling news items.
No, these little snipes, these little things that she
bag of tricks.
And she's all ready with this bag of tricks, ready to go. And here's the problem with her too, is that she can't wait to get in the fucking bag, and she has to do it so fast and so quick.
I just got to get it all out, because I got this stuff I've been saving. It's all pent up. I just got the bag of tricks that got to come out of me.
She can't let something unfold. She can't let something develop.
I can't. I'm impatient.
She's got to go right to the finish line with her fucking bag.
I got a bag of tricks. You wouldn't even believe. Now I also wonder.
That's a women thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Women. Yeah, it is.
I think that's just
she's ruined so many 10 seconds.
I can't help it. I am a woman. At the end of the day, I know you guys sometimes forget. I do have a vagina. Now, we did get a funny comment I wanted to read. He says, I was looking for people talking about Doom, and I ended up listening to a video game podcast version of Jerry Springer. Love it. So shout out to you out there who said that. Because look, we are a little crazy here, and we did yell a lot last week over all this stuff, and we probably will yell again tonight. We are lively, passionate people.
That's right.
But yeah, it's going to be a fun show.
Should I avoid certain topics with Doom when I talk about it?
No, it's more John with the Switch 2. He is very protective of it, Matt. If you say anything negative about Nintendo or the Switch 2, he loses
it. It's been this way forever.
But here's the thing. It's all these fucking guys that are guessing about everything. And that's what's driving me crazy. No one has the fucking Switch 2 in their hands yet, okay? It's all bullshit. And Michelle's like, oh, well, guy had the chip. Well, out of
the chip. He said it was a 1050
out of context.
A game before it comes out. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm just going by what the people are saying, Matt. But be careful because he does get very sensitive about the Switch. So we'll have to, we'll not bring it up tonight, maybe. But yeah, I think that's it. Let's just talk about some games. It's going to be a beefy night.
We got a lot of ground to cover.
Yep. Yeah, because. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I played a game that I love that came out of nowhere, and I love those weeks. I thought it was going to be a shitty gaming week, and then Uter in our Discord, who's a BDE, was like, oh, this game is coming out, and I'm like, oh, wait, that kind of looks like something I would like, and it's called Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. It is... Fantasy Life was on the DS.
Yes, I was going to say that. It was on the 3DS, but I'm shocked I never owned this game.
I don't even remember it, but it's so familiar in a good way because what it is, it feels like, and this is a new game. It's not just a remaster of the old DS games. This is a brand new game they're putting out everywhere. Early access I got for the extra $10. I've been playing for 2 days. It comes out officially tomorrow, Wednesday. But basically it's Zelda meets Animal Crossing meets... I don't know, Hello Kitty Adventure Island, whatever you want to say, but a big focus on combat. Stardew Valley, yes, but a big focus on combat like Zelda, but also it's all about these jobs. You have 14 jobs called lives, and you can swap between them freely. Every job, so whether it's woodworking or carpentry or chopping down trees or mining or tailoring, all of these professions, basically, whether they're gathering or crafting, all have talent trees. They all have leveling systems. They all have quest lines. They all have guilds. They all have storylines. It's pretty crazy, the depth here. There's hundreds of hours of gameplay. There is a ton to do. You have your own house and all that shit. The typical doing the quest for people. That's the Animal Crossingness. The combatness and the dungeons and the shrines and the towers. There's the Zelda-ness. I'm sorry. Yes, co-op as well.
Are there people... Are there people in your world?
Is this a sequel to the game that was on the 3DS, or is it a
Apparently
recreation?
It's the open world version of it. It's a brand new game. And so, Matt, there is co-op. It's not like an MMO feel where you run around and people are everywhere. That would be crazy. But you can group up with friends and do stuff together. I mean, to me, this is a better Zelda game in a way than Nintendo has made, because there are little dungeons and shrines, and like the combat is like really fully fleshed out. So you can say, I want to be a magic caster. I want to have a bow. I want to have a sword. I want to have, and you have skill trees for all of this shit. You guys know me. I love skill trees. Yeah. And it's just like, you can just, they all work together. Like there's synergy between all this stuff. So if I want to fish, then now I can cook, so it kind of appeases that MMO-ness in me where there's like profession stuff going on. So look, if you like, it is, if you like Zelda, if you like Animal Crossing, if you have kids who do, like, I really recommend this game a lot.
It's like 3D rendered models and stuff, right? It's not like flat sprites.
It looks
and all
a lot like the little Zelda remakes that Nintendo did, like Link's Awakening or whatever.
Absolutely.
And that's the feel of it. So yeah, I really just am shocked I missed the first one on the DS that maybe I've heard of it, but I didn't get to play it. And so, yeah, I think this is already kind of being well received by the people like me who've been playing during the early access period. So it's $10. But by the time you guys hear this, honestly, just check it out tomorrow. It comes out on Switch, on Steam. I don't know if it's on PlayStation or Xbox, but I assume so.
Their art direction, I'm looking at their global launch timing calendar map, whatever. They're legit using Nintendo fonts.
It's on so this. Nintendo that this is a better Nintendo game than Nintendo
they're
makes.
They're using Nintendo fonts.
Are they stealing Nintendo fonts? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying, look at that. That was our Nintendo fonts that Nintendo uses on interfaces and shit all the time.
It feels so Nintendo. In a good way, but like we don't need Nintendo anymore. We have Palworld that was better than Pokemon. We have this game that's better than Animal Crossing. We had Hello Kitty Island Adventure that was better than Animal Crossing. All I'm saying is, like, if you're familiar in that, or you love that Nintendo world, when you would love this game. And maybe you have played it on the DS. Maybe you played the old one. This one's better than the old one apparently because it's fully like open world and really a lot of depth going on. So they call it a slow life RPG. Switch between 14 jobs called lives in a carefree life fantasy world. There's a big story, a lot of talking. You can skip the stuff, but there is like I said, every job has a story. There's a main storyline. You're traveling between different zones and islands, and I'm just still uncovering like all this game has to offer. So, and the cool thing is though, like there's all these like Cooking Mama style like mini games with some of the professions that I did not expect. John, I sent you a screenshot just so you would see like what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing like, during carpentry, you're making logs and you have to like do like, okay, chop here, move here. Like and when you're like chopping down a tree, even you get skill trees to be like, all right, find the soft spot in the tree. So you scan the tree, then you hit the tree in certain points and it's harder. They really like add progression to every single thing you do. Every single thing you do has a progression drip. That's like even an Elder Scrolls-ness to it. And the more you do it, the more points you get in it, the more points you can spend in it, the more you can level it up. So for somebody like me, it's a really fun
these images you sent me of like the shrine thing with the eye on it.
Yep.
And it has like the glowing like tribal
Zelda
kind of thing.
You have a tablet in it.
That is so fucking Zelda.
Well, yeah, I mean Zelda was inspired by a lot of things too though, right? Like even like we were saying from like WoW, they took a lot of inspiration. But that
glowy like crop circle type shit that's on that little column, like that's very
Yep, I just got my mount, and you can collect mounts in the game for different zones, and like there's all this shit to do that I feel like people who like Zelda should look at this game. It's not just some throwaway Animal Crossing like go do quests for these people type shit. Like there's actually like a Zelda game in here with dungeons and like I'm like, okay, this is a better Zelda than Zelda. So I don't want to oversell it because it is still, it's kiddie in a way, but like if you don't mind that, like it's really cute. I really, really like this a lot. It's called Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time.
And this is going to be on Switch and everything. Like, I mean, do you think I want this? Do I want to play this?
The girl who steals time.
Mode game?
John, you should get this and have your daughter play it in your Steam account with Steam Share. Yeah. She would probably really
being a subscription
love this.
Game.
No,
like new vocations, new seasons come by.
Well, they could if they added more jobs and stuff. But as far as I know, it's like fully complete. Like they're not going to nickel and dime you later. It looks like it's a fully complete, like hundreds of hours of game.
Just based on the fact that it's going to be on the Switch and PS5, I'm guessing it's not going to have any of that shit, right? Like,
Switch is getting into that stuff too. But
I mean, I
like a new job is coming in a month, kind of thing.
Maybe, but there's so much to do already. Like, I feel like you could just play this, chill hundreds of hours. John, I think you would like it. I think you might get annoyed with some of the talking, but I do think, you know, you said some of your kids liked, you know, Animal Crossing and like Zelda and stuff. Like, it's just a no-brainer to check it out if you like that. But no, the combat isn't like perfect, but it's definitely serviceable, like Zelda style
is
combat.
It just like hacky sword shit, or what is it?
Well, you can choose bow and arrow, you can choose a sword, you level up each one. I'm choosing, right now I'm a mage, and so I'm leveling up my staff, and then I can level up different skills, and so you can pretty much choose what you want to do. All the vocations have different leveling systems and all that shit. So I really didn't expect it to be like as good as it was.
There's going to be online multiplayer?
Well, there's co-op play. I don't know about like just going into like a server with anybody or anything. That would be the next step for a game like this. But you can group up with friends.
I'm on the Nintendo website and it says online multiplayer.
Well, that's probably the co-op. Like,
so probably leaving messages and stuff for like
people can run around with you. You can go through dungeons together. It's co-op. I mean, it's like Minecraft Dungeons or something. Like,
enjoy multiplayer with up to 4 players. Invite friends to your island, explore dungeons, or find your own ways to have fun together. If you have 2 controllers, you can do 2-player family co-op.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Where one player can join the adventure as your travel companion without needing to connect online.
Yeah,
so you can do couch co-op or online co-op.
It feels polished. It feels Nintendo in a good way. It feels familiar in a good way, where I feel like I've been in this world. I want to be in this world. Like, everything just it's just smooth. It's just like, wow, this is actually good. I like this. I want to learn every profession and every crafting and collecting before I go out on the main story, because I want to be able to, if I'm running, you know, by a mining node, I want to be able to get it. If I'm running by a school of rare fish, I want to be able to fish them. Like, everything you do in every zone, you want to do so you can do it all. So, really cool game. Check out Fantasy Life I. $60 comes out tomorrow. All right. So then I also played an ARPG, a pixel ARPG called the Slormancer. And it just got out of EA. I don't like the name. It just got out of EA to 1.0, and I've been hearing a little bit of buzz about it. And so what it is something that I don't know what it means. Maybe you guys do. People are saying it is the Disgaea of ARPGs, Disgaea. That is a game. I
recognize the name, but
yes, that I've seen, but I don't know anything about this Disgaea. I don't know how to say that. Disgaea game. But yeah, you gain levels, your skills gain levels, your weapons gain levels, your items gain levels. It's very grindy, but it's a little ARPG where you kind of go out on the same map over and over and over as you are fixing up this town that got sort of invaded, and everybody was sort of taken away to another area, and they're slowly coming back to town. You keep going back to the graveyard, getting them all back. And then like there's an end game, just like an ARPG once you beat the campaign, and there's like endless things to do and level, and like codexes for leveling your skills and your weapons, and like maybe that's what that other game is where there's like a lot of like grindy leveling or whatever. Cranky says maybe it's Disgaea. Maybe it is.
I thought it was Disgaea.
Candy hands. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard anybody say it. I just know it's Disgaea. I don't know what that game is, but if you like that game, people are like, holy shit, this is the ARPG of that game. So right now I'm a mage. I throw books. I've been leveling up my book throwing skill, and you kill enemies, you get slorm from them, and then you spend that slorm, which I don't know what that is.
Slorm?
Yeah, I had I left a review and I said, look, I like the game, but I don't like the name, because first of all, it's Slormancer, and I'm collecting Slorm. Why aren't I collecting Slore? Because it's Slormancer. That should be double M. It's only one M. It does sound dirty. You are collecting jizz. Good call, Matt. You're spending jizz. You're bottling it up and spending it to upgrade yourself.
Jizzy.
Yeah, it's a little jizzy. Look, I like this game. I definitely see why people find it addicting. I want to just do like one more run, keep going back. But honestly, as I was playing, I kept being like, I kind of want to go play PoE 2 right now, because like, I don't know. it's better combat. It looks better. And like, I don't know. I want to fuck around in there. So for me,
Slorm Master.
Yeah, it's slormy. But I think it's cheap. Yeah. It was like $15, and it's just a little pixel ARPG, and it's cute, and they did a good job. So check it out if you love a grind, but you know, it's kind of mindless, at least so far. No crafting tables that I saw. Well, the cool thing is there's vendors at least, and you can buy like a random box, and then you choose an item that comes out of it. So you keep farming for gold and then spending gold, and you're farming.
It looks
for
like
the
a
storm.
Halloween game.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I don't dislike it. I just found myself like I kept going back to playing a little bit more PoE 2 in between and leveling like my lich that I have and fucking around with like specters and stuff because I just was like, I'd want to play like the best ARPG and it's not this one. So it was more a time thing. And then really quickly, I want to bring up an interesting topic. I didn't play the game, but Ubisoft released a free game on Steam, Champions Tactics Reforged. Now was an NFT game that they had only on their website, and they don't allow NFTs on Steam, so they released another version called Reforged on Steam. It's getting review bombed to shit, and people hate it. It's got negative reviews. When you turn it on, it tries to open the Ubisoft launcher, and it opens that up anyway. So you're still playing through Ubisoft. But I don't know what.
Dumb.
I didn't want to try it after that. And like once I saw the reviews, because like, well, it's not even a good game, but like they don't want to let this die. So it was an NFT game. Apparently things cost anywhere between $7 to $70,000 to get these little figurines that fight on like a little board game for you. But yeah, you mint certain champions and they're rare. And I don't know, this was like when NFTs were going to be a thing in gaming and they were trying to hop on board with it quickly. And now I think they're just trying to figure out what to do with it. They threw it on Steam without the NFTs, but it's really sloppy. It's like a figurine it's PvP only. That was another thing why I didn't want to try it. Like there's no campaign or any bosses to beat. It's just like fight with figurines. So when you have a basically pay to win PvP game, that's where I lose a little interest, because if it's pay to win, it's like single player. You don't feel, but it's like, I just went against the guy who bought a $70,000 figurine. No, thank you.
But if they got rid of the NFTs, isn't that all gone or no? You still can buy the things?
There's apparently some way to monetize, but it's just not with NFT. I think people are saying it's too expensive.
I mean,
to play.
I kind of don't hate the idea of NFT in games. I know a lot of people don't like the idea, but it is a way to bind stuff to you forever, right? Like you own it. Yeah. It's yours.
I don't
could
think
sell
gamers wanted it.
If used that way, not for scarcity.
But it is a way to sell your digital games or items, right? Because that's the big complaint now with, where Nintendo maybe is fixing it with their game key cards, like, it's a way to sell a game that you could have bought digitally. But
you're making it sound like it's honorable, and it's not. It's just a way that they're trying to fleece people for cash for a different way. And Ubisoft I think it bombed
I guess if they're getting a cut of every, blockchain transaction on their little thing.
Apparently it was on Epic as well, because they allow it.
Yeah.
But it didn't do very well. So now like they have a different version on Steam. I don't know enough about it to really review it, but I just want to say like if you're curious about it,
it's review bomb beyond belief.
Well, people said it's like just too expensive to play. So I don't really know what that means. If there's no NFTs, they must monetize in another way directly. Like buy this champion. We're minting. It was like all this pressure already when I was like down there. It was like we're minting rare champions. I love how they
make the miniatures look like actual like Hero Clicks miniatures,
Yep. Well, it sounded cool because it's turn-based, figurine, collect figurines or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, it's only PvP. It's only pay to win. I can see why people are shitting on this. And then when they're opening up my Uplay launcher, I don't remember my password right now. And then I got to go get that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck it.
That's dumb. If you have a Steam game and it launches Uplay launcher, what? Huh? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, it's basically running through their launcher, but they're using Steam as like, I don't know. It was awkward, but Ubisoft, try again because I don't think.
But it's like we don't want to use the Epic launcher, but that we might buy an Epic game on Steam. They don't really do that, do they?
Epic can like run in the background if you're doing like
they'll make you
like,
log in though for
like
cloud saves.
You don't have to log in or anything. Yeah, like this was weird. They want you to directly, basically, you're playing through the Uplay launcher, and the game was already there with NFTs, and now this version doesn't have it. It's just very awkward. I don't think Ubisoft knows what to do with this, and they may just have to let it die. And so I am just drinking something delicious. Now, John, I've been anti-sparkling water for a while, but I've kind of turned a leaf on it because I have a lime tree and I have pellet ice from Chick-fil-A, which you can get a big bag for like $3. So if you put like Pellegrino sparkling water with pellet ice and lime, I really like it. I don't know if it's a limeade or it's just limey sparkling water, but it's delicious and I recommend trying it.
Yeah, Pellegrino's great. I used to buy boxes of that shit.
But I'm over the true lemon. Now I'm doing real limes.
Oh, yeah. I used to put fresh lemon in Pellegrino all the time. I never did lime in that.
Try lime. Like I have limes with the sparkling water. And I think like the pellet ice is key for me. For some reason, I love that Chick-fil-A bagged ice. Because I was looking at pellet ice makers, but they're like $600 and they're massive on your counter.
Can you get like a pellet ice cube tray?
No, it doesn't work like that. They're like aerated pellet ice. Like you ever chew pellet ice? It's sort of like it has like carbonation in a way. Like because the pellet ice makers have like a carbonated thing you put in. So anyway, all right, John.
It's injecting gas in it or something, right? Like
I don't think it's maybe
like
don't know.
CO2,
it's like air bubbles. It's like some sort of
like
air bubbles or whatever. Hospital ice. I don't think of it that way.
Is this the VGO podcast?
Yes. What happened? Were you disconnected?
I don't know. Have you ever listened to this podcast? Man, I don't know.
What are you doing?
Was the ice minute? the ice.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it. We always talk about what we're drinking. Welcome if you're new here. Okay, John. What did you?
Oh, thanks. No.
Wait, what? I'm confused, Matt. Did you forget what this show is? Like,
no, I think I zoned out for a second and I came back and you guys were talking about ice for a while, so I just didn't. I didn't know
we talk about what we're drinking. We often go off topic, right, John? It's probably been away for about 20
I'm new to the show, so I'm
like
just trying
if
to.
we find a good news story, a fast food news story, we'll be on that for
John
a half
loves
hour.
a fast food news story, like a Domino's pizza coupon coming.
I listen to podcasts like that, like all fast food based podcasts. They're pretty funny.
That's kind of addicting. All right, John. So all jokes aside, what did you play over there?
I played a bunch of shit this week, actually. I'm debating if I want to even bring this up, but like. I played this demo on PS5. It's called Moorhound Cart.
What? Why are you saying it like that?
I think it's actually. I think I should I think it's Moorhound Cart for Moorhound Cart. I think that's the correct way to say it. Actually,
a cart.
Moorhound Cart.
More hands cart?
No, Moorhound Cart.
Moorhound
cat or cart?
Moorhound
More
Cart.
More hand.
Is that German or?
German developers. We make it the Moorhound Cart.
I don't know what you're saying.
More hand cat.
Moorhound Cart.
More hands.
Moorhound.
Now you're just changing what
Can
you're
you
saying.
spell that for me or?
Moorhun.
Stop it! You just started
Yeah,
again in the middle of it.
I don't know what you're saying. To be honest with you.
More
hands cock. More hands cock.
You need a sequel to that movie?
Moorhun Cart.
I am no clearer
I
than
can't
I
follow
was
anything
5
this
minutes
man is
ago,
saying, but I
John.
think he's saying more hoon cart.
You've not done anything to explain what you're trying to say.
Moorhun.
I found it. There's like a rooster on a bike. Like, what am I looking at? Yeah, let's skip this game.
More Hun cock.
I don't
Is this
know
gonna
why.
Bring up something weird on my computer.
No, it's
more Hun cart. Oh,
It is-
what now? What are we doing?
What is this?
it's a Mario Kart clone, and I don't know why I played it, but I did.
Oh.
And it's so bad and so awful, and I
Is
don't know
there a
why it
turtle in
exists.
this
And this is the fourth one. They've made a whole bunch of these, and I guess
People love them.
it's a German developer, and I guess I think Moorhun means crazy chicken.
So here's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
At one of these games out there, I play a turtle, and I don't know which of these games. They never told me, and I was never in contact again. But I recorded all lines for a turtle
In Moorhun?
in a animal racing game that came out sometime this year.
Is it
so
this?
I don't know what it is.
God,
Matt,
what
I
is
don't
this?
know. It's a turtle. I play
Matt,
a turtle,
what if
so I
it's-
don't know.
How do
Okay.
you not know the game? Come on, email them and find
Matt,
out.
there's a fucking turtle.
It could be this game.
They weren't allowed to tell me with a name. It was like some weird either mobile game or Steam game.
Okay.
Well, this is mobile and Steam. I guess this crazy chicken franchise is like a big thing on mobile. I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, if you hear a turtle that sounds like me in a racing game, let me know.
It's
I've
funny.
been looking.
All right,
for it.
I'm going to play this again now.
You gotta listen for the turtle. Yeah, see if it sounds like Matt.
kind of like,
All right, whatever.
That's like
I don't know. I played. I just thought it was so stupid, and the name was asinine. All right, I have an announcement to make. Actually, Matt McCarthy and I have a big announcement to make. This is really important, Michelle.
Jesus Christ.
Getting
What?
married.
No, we made a decision today, actually, that we're gonna take a break from Call of Duty,
What? Why?
and we're gonna focus all of our efforts into gray zone warfare.
Okay.
We're gonna try to become really good at it. We're gonna try to understand everything
I give
about
you guys
it.
a couple weeks at the most.
No, listen, Gray Zone, some big shit's going on with this game. And Matt and I played last night for, I don't know, hour or two. And we had so much fucking fun. Like, I can't tell you how much I love this game. But there's this huge update that's coming out. And the developer right now isn't saying when it's coming out, but they've been giving the streamers a preview of this Winds of War update that's going to absolutely transform the game, and they're approaching it differently. This is the game, Michelle, I've always wanted. They're now calling it a tactical MMO FPS.
Okay.
And it's It's a persistent world. There's no timer.
I'm glad you and Matt could make that decision together. It's a very important thing when a couple decides to focus their hobbies together as one, as a unit. Commitment?
I'm just saying this is a big. We say, you know what? We're gonna just stop Call of Duty. Okay.
I think that's a good step for you guys.
Yes, building blocks of a relationship. These are the moments.
Exactly. And you can't go back now.
But I love what they're doing, though. They're having like these events on the map. There's going to be more PvP things that happen on the map. And they're stressing, this is not an extraction shooter. It's not an extraction shooter. This is a persistent world. You jump in. There's no timers. You stay in the game. There's no like vendor menus. It's all in the game. Everything happens here. You stay in as long as you want. And we've had those experiences, like when we play these other...
the purpose? Like, what do you do? Just
level up?
Just objectives.
You're leveling up. You're trying to get better loot. You're trying to get better guns. There is quests that you do. It's quest based, like for the vendors to unlock better stuff. And they'll say like, go find the crash helicopter, site. That's somewhere out there in the world. They'll tell you roughly on the map. And then there's helicopters that you get in. You call a helicopter. You tell it to drop you off at a waypoint, and then you're dropped off, and it's PvP, right? And PvE. And so you might get ambushed when you get dropped off because, we camped helicopter landing sites all the time.
Everyone's
it's really
saying
fun.
It's an extraction shooter.
It's not. No. This is their language, okay?
All right, John, whatever you say. Whatever you and Matt have decided, we support you here.
I'm going to read you the announcement that they made.
No, let's not. Why don't you talk about the other three games
Gray
you
Zone
played
Warfare isn't an extraction shooter. They said back in Update 0.1, we said it wasn't an extraction shooter. Why? Because you don't leave the map. You're in a persistent world. There's no time limits, no raid timers, no vendor screens in a separate menu. You load into Lemang while others are already playing.
Old School says,
the world
Steam page
doesn't.
says World Extraction Shooter.
I'm telling you, this is their announcement.
Badger says
okay?
1,700 people playing dead game.
It's not a dead game. With Update 0.2, they said, ironically enough, we called it the first open world extraction shooter focused on realism. Why? Because people were extracting, flying out with loot, heading back to the base. And the little birds were a big part of this. But with this upcoming update, though,
John,
we're changing this again.
I know you guys committed to this, but I don't think it's going to work.
What? What do you mean?
All right,
What's not
tell
going
us
to work?
about the Precinct.
What's not going to work?
You played the Precinct, and there was a lot of buzz about this game.
What is it? What is not going to work?
It's going to work. It's going to be fun. You guys are going to do this. You're going to be at the top of the player base by next year.
Yep.
Yeah, we're shifting gears, Michelle, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm happy.
All right.
For you.
All right, let's talk about this Blades of Fire.
Of course. Not the thing I set you up for. Let's get confusing and just
I wanted
switch
the other
it up.
one.
Yeah.
No, I'm burying that one. I want to do this one. I want to get
All right,
to
Blades of Fire. These are the people who did Metroid, right? Some buzz about
Metroid
this.
Dread. They did Metroid Dread,
Okay.
and they also did like a Castlevania spin-off game. Okay.
All right.
And I don't know anything about the Castlevania game, but Metroid Dread was like a 2D, Metroid game. So this is not a 2D Metroid. Now, Michelle, you told me that this had janky graphics and it was like PS2 era. It doesn't at all.
I don't remember saying that, but sure.
Oh, I thought maybe you thought that from the screenshots or something. Because we've been saying that, the low poly retro 3D stuff.
Well, Jen,
is
I was
definitely
talking
in
about
fashion.
this in our Discord, and then I started seeing all this buzz about it. And I'm like, okay, these people did Metroid Dread.
Well,
John should look at this. So the demo is out now. The game comes out tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and I think this is a game that Matt Bradford would really want to play.
Really?
And probably, and maybe you too.
Okay.
So it's an action RPG game, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's Soulsy. It's Souls-like, okay? It's not easy. I'm playing on the middle level, and it's fucking hard as shit, okay? So...
Okay.
There is an easy mode. I actually wanted to switch to the easy mode because I'm getting so pissed off at it. But at least in the demo, once you pick the difficulty, that's what it is.
Okay.
So here's what this game is. Okay, you are some dude that has found this magical hammer. Okay, a forge hammer, right? And then you also have this kid with you who doesn't do any combat. He's just like your sidekick that you can talk to, right? And he might interpret things or see things that you're not noticing. And he's kind of like a bit of a helper, right? He's got some abilities, like he can pick up certain things and interpret certain languages, like things like that, right? He's a little bratty kid that's just along for the ride, and he's always there, okay? But you have this hammer, And also the setup is the queen is fucking with the world, and you're on a mission to go kill the queen. That's the game, okay? Right. And you're progressing through this map. It's kind of linear.
Open world? Oh, no.
No, I would say it's linear with branching stuff everywhere, like little hidey holes and doors and caves.
So it's a story-driven game then? You're not left to...
No, it's a story-driven game. But this is the main hook of... And by the way, the combat is melee combat, at least what I've experienced. And they do it differently. Basically, it's up, down, left, right. With the combat, you can do right swing, left swing, top swing, and bottom swing.
Is this God of War? Kind of?
Yes, I would say so.
With your son?
I think God of War is a decent comparison.
Interesting.
So, but again, that's the combat, and then you have a dodge and a roll and a block, right? You're not really parrying in this game. But what you are doing with the combat, though, is you could focus on an enemy, and it'll tell you if the weapon you have on you is strong, medium, or weak.
So you're like a blacksmith. You have a magic hammer that can make any weapon.
Well, let me get to... Would you stop? I will get to that.
You started saying it didn't finish. You said the hook of the game is, and then you just started talking about fucking random shit.
This is not random. This is the fucking game, and this is how the combat works, okay?
The hook of the game is...
You focus on the enemy... It'll tell you, they'll light up green, yellow, or red, and that informs you as to what weapon you should approach them with, because you're carrying a bunch of weapons, because you're constantly forging the weapons. Michelle, see, I was getting to that. And so when you get to these... Though. Yeah, when you get to these like bonfire things, which are actually just like anvils that you smack with the hammer, and that's like a rest point for you if you want it, and you can, recharge, and then enemies do respawn. Or you can go to the forge. The forge is like in hell. You basically leave the world and you go into like this fiery hell, and you start crafting weapons. And and you go down there, and there's a crafting table. I'm like, oh fuck. Crafting table.
What do you want? How do you want the blacksmith to make the weapons? He needs to use something, not a blanket.
But here's the thing. This crafting is a big fucking production, all right? So when you're battling and breaking things and killing enemies, they're dropping resources, all kinds of silver and metals
is it like
and
Monster
wood.
Hunter crafting weapons?
No, it is here's how it works. You go to the crafting table, and then you pick a blueprint, and you'll find these scrolls that allow you to craft different kinds of weapons. You like spears and daggers and knives and heavy swords and all that shit, right? And you have these blueprints, and then you lay it on the table, and then you go to the forge, right? And then before you do that, though, you have to select all the little pieces of the item. So if I'm crafting a sword, I'm selecting what kind of metal it's made out of. I'm selecting the different points of the weapon, the handles, all these little details, and they're all changing the stats. And if I've learned how to craft certain metals, I will have more options and better options. Or in the beginning, like me, you have only like 1 or 2 metals you can choose from. And they all do different things to the stats. And so you're basically creating all these different little things on the weapon. Again, the blade size, the blade point, the shape of the blade, the handle style, the materials it's made out of, all that shit. And then you go to the forge, and then it turns into this fucking mini game of you forging and hammering a piece of steel to create this new weapon. And you basically have all these high points and low points, and you're going around trying to smash the metal down.
Can you fuck up all your materials? Because in my game, the Fantasy Life I, you can ruin some of your materials.
So here's what so the better you forge the weapon, the more repairable it is later. Okay? So if you craft a 3 or 4 star weapon, you can repair that weapon 3 or 4 times accordingly. Okay, and if you craft a 1-star weapon, you can you can repair it once, and you have to repair stuff because stuff is constantly fucking breaking constantly, right? And also, if you die, you leave your weapon where you died. Okay, and then. So if you only had like 1 weapon or 2 weapons, now you've got 1.
So after all that, you got to go find your weapon?
Yes. Or do you just go back to the forge and craft another one? Because where you died is a really hard part to get back to because everyone has respawned, right?
How often do you have to do this for
constantly?
Every enemy? Or
you have to.
That sounds annoying as shit.
So so there's this one boss that I was trying to beat, and to get to the fucking boss, I had to kill like 6 guys along the way, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
And they're double teaming me. They're coming out of the bushes. They're behind me, and they're in front of me. They're left of me, and it's a very. I was having a hard time with
Turkish
it.
bath, John.
Okay, and then you get to the boss, and then you lose your best weapon right there. Okay, and then you respawn back at the forge,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have that weapon anymore.
You're
and
a
that
lot
was
of crybabying here.
Well, I'm crying.
You're
There's
a man
lot of
with
cry.
a hammer. There's bad men around. You've got to make a weapon and kill them.
I'm
all right?
telling you that this game, you better like this fucking weapon system in the forging because you are.
I do not like weapon breaking, losing systems. I want to keep my weapon at all times, and I want it to be okay for whatever situation I'm getting into.
Yeah, you're constantly managing the weapons, your inventory.
I appreciate this. You're a lone man with a hammer. Okay, I don't know.
You're not alone though. You've got some crybaby kid.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm worried about. Why is there always this annoying person next to you that's just like, hey, that bush over there?
I bet he's going to learn
that's
morals
poisonous.
or get
Don't
kidnapped at some point.
So I appreciate something that's going on here. I don't dislike this game. I just feel like I don't want this game. I have so many of these fucking games in my library that I've never finished. I'd rather go play Oblivion or something if I want some open worldy game, or whatever combat like this.
Getting some hype though.
Through a ride there, John. I was really interested there for a second.
Some hype. 3-hour demo you can play.
Matt, I would try the demo if I were you. I honestly would try it though. I think it might really surprise you. That demo's on the PS5. I'm going to tell you, I know this is not a bad game, right? Mm-hmm. But the overuse
just not
of
for you. That's okay. Sometimes you like things and they're just not for you.
Right.
It's got to depend if that forging mechanic's fun. If that loop is fun.
I don't think it's fun. I think it's long and slow, and they drag it out.
Sounds like my wedding night.
I'm kind of interested in it.
You can skip all the cutscenes.
Long and slow.
Yeah, well, you can skip all. I thought you want to get to the
same
point.
Joke.
So yeah, that's Blades of Fire, and then the other game I played the most this week is a game called Precinct.
I remember I played this. You might not remember. I played the demo of this.
Oh, you did?
Back in the
It could be why it sounded familiar, but tell me what it is. Refresh us, John, because
tell us, John.
Okay,
again,
so this
buzzy.
This is like an old school GTA style game. If you guys remember, GTA was a top-down game before it became the GTA we know now. And it's kind of like that perspective, but with a modern game engine, really detailed world, kind of isometric camera view. Everything's really small. And what this game is, it's like a nepotism simulator. Your dad, the police chief, has died, and now you're a new recruit, and everyone is telling you how much.
Simulator.
Yeah, and now everyone's telling them how much they like your dad, who was the police chief, but he's gone. And so what this is, it's literally a police simulator. Okay, you're a new recruit, and you basically go out in the world and you bust bad guys. You pull people over in cars. It's really fucking addicting. And so you have all these different beats. So on every day, you can choose what you want to do. Do you want to pull people over for speeding? Do you want to do patrol? Just drive around looking for shit going on? Do you want to walk the streets on patrol? Trying to think what else. Like,
can you rough people up? Or can you be a dick cop or a good cop?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities here to do the wrong thing. Like you can go up to every civilian and every car and just pull them over and just ask for the ID, fishing for bad things.
What's your incentive? The more money you make off that,
you're getting XP. For every good thing that you do, you get XP. Okay. And the more XP you get, you level up, and then you get these skill points that you can use to basically increase your stamina, your health, your weapons, your abilities, like putting down roadblocks and shit like that. You get all this stuff, eventually as you unlock more stuff and get more skill points by playing the game. But here's kind of the game loop. Okay, so say I'm going to patrol this. I'm going to go patrol the streets in my squad car. I have a partner, right? So you just drive around and you're like, oh, that car looks like they're kind of speeding. Or they're about to speed maybe. Actually, why don't I just run their license plate? You run their license plate and it says, oh, license plate's clean. Okay. Next car. Oh, I don't like how this car looks. I'm going to just run their license plate. Those people
profiling?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, busted taillight. Let's pull them over. There's drugs in there.
I don't like how this car looks. It's like a hot rod or something. Yeah.
Sure.
So you scan the license plate and they say, oh, this person has a warrant. Oh, interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I turn the lights on, okay? All right, and the siren. And then this car decides, no, you're not doing this right now, copper. And he speeds away, all right? And now I'm in hot pursuit with the sirens on, okay?
Yeah.
And we're flying down the streets. I'm chasing him. I'm calling for backup, okay? And I got different choices, right? I can call some squad cars to come in and help me. Or a helicopter. I could do all this shit if things are really escalating, okay? So I'm chasing the person. Eventually, we get into a crash, and he's cornered. I get out of the car, guns drawn, okay? And I pull him out of the fucking car, but now he's fucking running on foot. And now I'm chasing him down the street. He's hopping fences.
What a pain in the ass.
I know. So now I'm shooting him as he's running away, okay? Now I have a choice, though.
You're not supposed to do that. It's only shoot to
Well,
kill.
at this point, I'm shooting him, okay?
You don't just shoot people because they're running. That's like a
okay, I have a taser I have a taser, too. All right, so I tase him, okay? He's on the ground. I handcuff his fucking ass. I stand him up, and I say, give me your fucking ID. And he gives me the ID. And they run it again, whatever. I got his driver's license.
Warrant, he just his brother.
And they say, oh, he's wanted
on the way home.
He's wanted for burglary. Oh my God. Fuck yeah.
All right. That's why he was running this piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. All right, so now that I got that settled, I'm gonna frisk this motherfucker. I'm gonna search him. So you search his ass,
check
right?
His cavities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in there.
And here's what's happening. You search him. They always have Rubik's cubes, by the way. Cube game. I don't know. So car keys, money, Rubik's Cube, cassette tape, narcotics, unregistered gun.
Crimes that have Rubik's Cubes. Who made this game? A bunch of Swedes? What is this shit?
I know. So narcotics. Oh, look at this. An unlicensed, unregistered gun.
Oh
boy, this is getting worse for you, isn't it, pal?
Yeah, there's a lot of comorbidities with crimes.
And then I say, you know what? You kind of smell a little
plant stuff on him too, right?
I'm like, you smell a little boozy, you know?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give you a breathalyzer now. I give him the breathalyzer. Look at that. Yeah. The guy was fucking drunk too.
Yep.
Okay, all of this.
Drunk and a criminal. Take him out.
Yes. Right?
Bunch of bums out there.
And he had drugs, an unlicensed gun.
Yeah.
He fled. He assaulted me.
And a Rubik's Cube. Let's not forget about the Rubik's
crime.
So then here's how it goes then.
Matt, I say, okay. The criminal. This guy is a bum. He was running from the police. I'm on the side of
the criminal, not these propaganda bullshit.
I don't know. If you're committing crime and running from cops and you have a fucking Rubik's Cube up your ass, you deserve to get taken the fuck out.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of these guys all have Rubik's Cubes. I don't know what's going on.
Rubik's Cubes.
They've heard of John. They know just to
now here's the thing.
As soon as you come around the corner.
So I did all that stuff. I checked the ID, breathalyzer, searched him. I determined all these fucking things. And I asked him to open up his trunk of his car. He unlocks the trunk of his car. I go in there. Guess what I find him fucking there? Huh?
A woman?
I found counterfeit T-shirts. Yeah.
Oh my God. How much dirty shit is this guy into?
This guy is such a low-level
Wait
criminal.
a minute. Counterfeit, were they like Zelda T-shirts? Was Nintendo after him? What was the counterfeit? Like fake Iron Maiden?
It says like Coca-Cola or something.
I don't know.
Reagan's like knockoff.
That's a big deal. Let him sell some T-shirts.
All right.
Yes.
So now this guy's got fucking... He's got counterfeit shirts.
Forget the T-shirts. That's not a big deal. But, the other
so
stuff bad.
So now I say, all right, pal, I'm arresting you for real. Ooh. And now I have to charge him with crimes. Okay, why am I arresting you? And I did read him his rights. And if you do that, you get extra XP. Okay, so I'm now I need to go through the crime book and check off all the crimes he committed. Okay.
Wow.
So and I can't make a mistake because if I do, I get penalized.
Now is Rubik's Cube possession in like which section?
So I go through the different categories of crimes. There's driving crimes, there's pedestrian crimes, and something else. And I say, okay, well, he fled. He assaulted a police officer.
Yeah.
He had counterfeit shirts. He had narcotics. He had unlicensed gun.
Mentioning the shirts after you were assaulted. Yeah.
So you check off all these things, and if you check off every crime that you discovered, you get bonus XP for that. If you check off the wrong ones, you lose XP, and then you throw him in the cop car. You drive him to the station. You get him out. You escort him through the front doors. You bring him to the booking area, and then you get all this XP, and that's it. That's now you're on a shift though, an 8-hour shift or 10 hours, and that was the first thing I did.
To be fair, John, you caused most of the crime. See, I don't see that. You just tried to pull him over. He fled on car, then he fled by foot.
Yeah.
If he had just stopped,
suspect,
right?
If he had just stopped and said, "Sir, I have Coca-Cola in the back. Can we, let this slide?" You would have been fine.
So that's like the game loop. That is like this. Yeah. That is the game loop.
I got a question, legit question, serious question. Games Radar, Matt Prepper.
Yeah,
yeah. Host on this show too.
Oh yeah.
Is this an organic? Is this one of those things where you leave and just get into these organic situations?
Yes.
Or do you have goals you have to hit every single day?
No. Well, okay. So you'll have. Okay. So if I'm gonna like do a patrol, okay. they'll give me a goal of getting 10 arrests in this one part of the city. And then once I get those 10 arrests, then the next section of the city opens up. And then you go to that section of the city, and then you have new goals in that area. And then once you get those, then the next section of the city opens up.
Now here's
and
my
you're basically
question.
going around. Yes. And
Is
then
it
at the
just
same
cop
time,
duties, or do you have to go home to your wife who's bitching at you?
no, you don't have to do any of that. There's no
Okay.
personal
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, you have to go to
But-
family
but there
You
is-
come home and she's like, "You're ruining our fucking family. Your whole life is this job. Me and little Jimmy are here
Yeah.
waiting for you every fucking night, and you're just working every fucking day. You know you're never going to be chief."
Right.
come home, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about you. You got shot the other day. You're pulling for criminals. That would be like what they need to round it out. You need
Yeah, I
an
know.
annoying wife at home.
But there's so much stuff to this game though. Like, first of all, it takes place in the 80s, so there's like a synthwave soundtrack that's kind of cool.
Right.
Mostly in the menus though, not when you're playing the game.
Yeah, that would be
but it-
weird
but
if you're
it-
just a cop blasting synth waves
Yeah,
as you're pulling
yeah.
over people with counterfeit Rubik's
but,
cubes.
but like it's
Yeah.
that 80s cop movie type thing,
Sure.
where it's just you in a car with a radio. There's no like technology or anything, you know. And also the station will call in things as they're happening. They're saying there's a robbery in progress, you know, blah blah blah. Do you accept? Do you want to go do the mission? Yes, you accept it. Then it shows up on the map. You go there. There's two guys running out of a liquor store, firing at you immediately. You get out of the cop car and you just fucking take their asses down with the fucking pump shotgun. Like that's the kind of shit.
Yeah,
That's intense.
I kind of like
Most
it.
cops don't
Sounds
see that in
fun.
action in their entire career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there is helicopter missions though. I don't have the helicopter completely unlocked, but they give you a taste of it in the very beginning. I've played this game for like 5 hours. Like
Really?
and I'm gonna keep playing it. And then also there is this overarching story about these gangs that you're trying to take down. And you start at the bottom and you're taking down the soldiers, and then you just go up the ladder to get to the boss, right?
So maybe that Rubik's Cube, all jokes aside, is
Yeah.
like a calling card of one of the gangs.
yeah.
That
Like they're
makes
all,
sense.
Like there has to be some
Yeah.
reason that these guys all have some weird object on them.
The Rubik's dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
They're pretty
there's clear
edgy.
there's clear gang members though with
Yeah.
outfits and cars
Oh,
that are
okay.
patrolling around, and so I just took down one of the bosses, and it was actually really fun, to be honest. And there was like a dirty cop involved, and I had to arrest like a cop on the force. And then the cop now has information though. He's like, "Listen, I was just undercover. I'm not a bad cop. I know there's a shipment going down.
Is there voice
soon."
acting? Is that what they sound like?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good,
There's voice
no.
acting.
Oh, good.
There's
So
voice
this is
act. So like the voice acting cutscenes are with static images like PNGs. Just
Yeah, there are a lot of
raster-
porn games like that.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, where it's just like a
But
nipple
there is voice
and then like a
acting.
voice.
There is a story. There is variety. But I will say this though: after playing for 5 hours, the arresting people gets old. It just does, because
Yeah.
every time you're arresting someone, you got to look at their ID. You got to search them. You give them the breathalyzer. You go in the menu. You pick the crimes they did. You have to do that every single
So
fucking
it
time.
skews more real life than
What?
a cop fantasy. Like, does it skew more of like this is more of a cop simulator, like by the books?
No.
Or do you feel like it's a
Well,
can do
you
whatever
get
want?
like I killed some civilians accidentally. There was a gun shootout.
no
at a-
big
at a
deal.
fucking-
Did you like
Well,
have to face
well,
trial for that?
Well, no, because these fucking clowns were robbing like some fucking auto dealer. I pull in, they start firing on me immediately. I didn't know like some lady was just walking in the parking lot at the same time with all this
You have to
gunfire.
check. It
Well,
has to be a clear-
I shot her in the fucking face. Okay.
Wow, that's
So-
harsh.
Yeah, dude, that's not. You gotta.
Well,
go back
I
to
got
training.
I lost like 50 XP for that. Whatever. I don't.
No big
give-
deal. Shotgun to the head.
You back a
50
day.
XP. Yeah. It's nothing compared to the counterfeit t-shirts, Coca-Cola, okay?
Coca-Cola.
I don't know. This game's a hoot. I love this game. I
hoot.
genuinely love it.
I give it 5 hoots.
I really.
It's
Yeah.
a hoot. It's a hoot one.
And so it is Steam Deck verified. I have not played it on my Steam Deck though yet. And also, I'm going to say this: if you do play this on the PC, I recommend controller because the driving with the mouse and keyboard sucks.
Yeah. If you want to shotgun a woman to the face, nothing's better than the right thumbstick.
That's right. Yeah, no, I ran over. I accidentally killed a
Yeah.
bunch of people in this game.
That's not a
but-
big deal. Let's not talk about it. Your dad was chief. He was a good dude. He bought us all
Right.
pints, one
Yeah.
day.
He
It's
probably
not
killed a
don't-
lot of people too.
Yeah.
Let's be
It's
fair.
not.
I don't
it's
know.
Not a thing.
But it was all. This guy had stolen cassettes in his pocket, so I had
It's
to.
fine. You know what? There's the
End of the
bad
life
people
over-
of the world. Yeah. And they gotta go. They gotta go.
Someone doesn't have a father because they had bad cassettes in the back.
Well,
his pants.
yeah, the guy like stole a Def Leppard cassette, so we had to take care of him.
All right, that's harsh, but it's your city,
I hear you.
guess.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm recommending this game wholly. If you like games like me, it is interesting. I just think that arrest loop is a little tiresome. You can eventually automate. You can actually immediately automate some of it. Like you can delegate the paperwork to somebody, and you can also call in a squad to escort the person to the police station, so you don't have to keep driving back.
Yeah, having some automation sounds like it would help. Too.
Yeah. But you get penalized for that. Like you don't get all the XP, that you could if you did everything yourself. Mm-hmm. But I was getting in a rhythm arresting fuckers nonstop, and I would just...
You're liking this a little too much, Matt. I feel like he's like channeling. I was in a rhythm. I shotgunned her to the face. Then I pulled this one guy over. He had fucking...
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what.
Hope you never become a cop,
Yeah,
John.
please don't. He's a power tripping guy here.
I don't know. That's Precinct, and I'm drinking a Partake.
All right, we are going to take a quick break here. Remember, if you want ad-free VGO, weekly bonus shows, the entire 20-year back catalog, which, by the way, somebody just joined and said, hey, I'm going back and listening to all your 20 years. So shout out to you in the Discord, because that's crazy to do. And you'll be able to meet Matt for the first time because he was around for 15 years of them. You can do that by supporting us in Discord or on the app at videogameoutsiders.com.
All right, Matt.
Yo.
What's going on over there?
Yeah, a lot of games.
Oh, it's been a little while, right? What was the last game I was on here for? Let's not try.
The round table we did. That was a big game. What was it? Well,
Assassin's Creed.
There you go.
Okay, so I won't cover Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I didn't love the setting, and I'll be completely honest, I haven't touched it since that day.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's on my PS5. I was enjoying it, but it wasn't hooking me. I'm not going to spend too much time. So I played a bunch of stuff. I guess I'll just talk about the three I'm playing right now. I'm playing Blueprints.
Oh, yeah. You missed that one, too.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, last time you were here, you were excited about that or something. Tell me.
I am blown away by this game. As the former Guinness World Records puzzle expert for 3 years, I have played a bunch of puzzle games. Professor Layton used to be my favorite series. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes this year's was another good one, but this is one of my favorite all-time puzzle games. For the soul, I mean, it's not just the drafting. I think you guys have played it, right? It's not just the drafting mechanic. Once you get to that 46th room, that's when the game begins. There is so much depth to this game, so many like hidden objectives, hidden things that just unravel as you're going for that 46th room. I'm like 60 hours in, I'm still discovering stuff. So
it's that long of a game.
Phenomenal.
Now, do the puzzles get like really hard or interesting?
No, I mean the puzzles are always the same. They're never scaling.
Okay,
except, like,
you just said it's the best puzzle game you ever played.
The puzzle isn't the puzzles themselves; it's the planning of the rooms and what rooms you want to pick, right? And what's going on outside.
But isn't there a lot of luck too? Also, with just what room?
There's RNG. Okay, so this is when people get into it, they say it's too much RNG. If you get into the game enough, you unlock so many modifiers, so many things to help you that you get good enough so that you're not really worried about running out of resources. At that point, it becomes, I've got to find the
or getting the wrong tile that's the wrong shape, like a hallway that goes to a dead end.
Yeah, but you still have ways around that now. You can adjust the rarity of rooms. You can twirl them around. But at that point, that's what I'm saying. There's two games. There's that game, and then there's the game that happens, and you're like, okay, I've done all that. Now we got to find the three what's-its to plug into this, a computer that controls this. I've got to find the mystery of there's everywhere in this house is a new secret waiting to be found.
So do you think?
Really cool.
I mean, are you close to the end, or is it?
I'm 3/4 to the end. There's so many different ways.
This game is that big, like 60 hours, and you're not even.
It's that deep. Yeah. If you want to go in blind, if you go on, of course, if you just go on a message forum and find out the answers and the optimal routes, you'll finish it faster. But if you're going in just by yourself trying to pick this thing apart, it can take a long time. I've gone for a lot of help because some of these safes that you got to crack are pretty.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed if I
They tell you to keep a notebook in real life, and I wasn't doing that. So certain puzzles after you've already solved them, like the circuit breaker one was like, not this again.
It leans a little too it thinks it's too smart for its own good sometimes, where it's like a tiny answer in a book somewhere is what you need for one room and another room, and you never make that connection, and you never would unless you read the answer online. But I love it.
Oh, you
It's
like
so
it, yeah.
it's so much fun.
Mhm.
You guys probably talked about it too. Expedition 33. That's the other one I'm trying to play right now.
Yes,
That's
we
another
did.
game.
What do you
How
think?
did you guys?
Well, I
what do you
played.
think?
I beat it. I liked it. John didn't get off the pier.
No, I
so-
didn't. I'm still
and
on the
he's
pier.
Didn't play the game.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I really didn't.
But Matt, I mean, it
You
is
might have
pure
bought that mine.
cinema. That's where I'm at with it.
It
It's
is.
beautiful
It is
in so many
eye
ways. So what do you
candy.
think?
I think it's jaw dropping, and I was hooked when I left the pier.
Yeah.
I was hooked when the combat clicked in for me. Once I understood the game I was trying to be, I was just like, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Especially after no spoilers after Act 1 when it showed what
Yeah.
kind of story it was willing to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you finish the game, I don't know, Michelle. You said you finished the game. Now
Yeah. Is it spoilers
You know what I'm
coming up?
talking about?
Maybe. Yes. I like games that do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to. You know what I'm saying?
There's such an end game. There's such a
Yeah, there's-
massive end game
exactly.
component to this thing.
Yep. Multiple
I'm
endings
still there.
and things that
Yeah.
you can, if you want to look into, you can figure it out. But yeah, this was only 30 people, Matt. Like you probably know that, like left a guy who left
insane.
Ubisoft, and shows you that like we're in. There's like an article I was going to read, but I might as well bring it up. Like the deep professionalization of video games, people say is happening right now. That these smaller teams
Mm-hmm.
are making these blockbuster games because there's nothing about this that screams like shit. Like it's just the voice acting, the
No,
music, the visuals.
The music is fantastic.
Yeah.
You could tell me this is Naughty Dog's next game, and I'm like, yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like it. It's that
It's-
level of the animation.
Yeah.
And
each
it's
the
a bunch
combat
of
is so much fun
it's like
and
a
flashy.
Splinter Cell from Ubisoft that made this too.
A splinter. Okay, yeah, like a splintered cell.
It's one. Yeah, I think it was one guy who then found
I guess
a bunch of
that was a
people.
bad analogy
Yeah.
because Ubisoft made Splinter
yeah.
Cell. But okay.
I was confused. I was very confused. I love the characters in this game. I
Yep.
love the combat
You know-
so much.
Yeah, and it's
I wanted
different
to bring
too because
this
we
up.
usually don't play these types of games. Really, I mean, you didn't play Persona, you didn't
No.
play Metaphor, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Does it make you want to
No,
look
but
at
Remake
those?
came close.
Okay,
It was a little action
Final Fantasy-ish.
turn-based.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they are watching this game being like, holy shit, we've been doing it wrong. Let's
Ubisoft
just
is?
do this. Or Square.
Oh,
They're
Square.
Saying, let's
Yeah, I
do this
mean,
for
because-
Well,
Final
they
Fantasy.
wanted to make a Final Fantasy game, right?
If
Basically.
you play on hard, the
Yeah.
parry timing is supposed to be like Sekiro, like super hard. I didn't do that. So apparently, you can get a real
I
challenge
played
out
on
of it though if you want
Expedition.
to.
Expert
Yeah.
was a little too annoying for me.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
John, what?
No, I was going to say, I heard one of the developers say that, he had this idea when he's working at Ubisoft. He shouldn't have said that. That's
They're
not
going to sue him because
wise.
it's like intellectual
like a
property. Everything
Silicon
is our
Valley thing?
possession.
When I was on the
Yeah.
clock and they were paying me, I had this idea.
Yeah. oh no.
Well, you can have the idea, you just can't put it on paper in any
Ubisoft.
way.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
they
I
own it
know.
on their work computer or anything like that.
That would be the final nail for Ubisoft for them
Yeah.
to sue.
That would look bad.
Expedition 30. That would be terrible. Okay, so that game. So already two of my like game of the year contenders I've been playing.
Yeah.
And also I've been playing the new Doom game. Doom
Yep.
Dark Ages.
Yeah,
So let's get into it.
Guillaume Broche did come up with the initial idea of the game while working at Ubisoft.
I think he means during the time, like at home.
He said he was working at Ubisoft and he was bored. And he
Yeah.
was-
No,
and
dude.
he came up with the idea. I know.
Well, it would have never been that game if he made it there. So
I know.
I'm glad he did it once he left. So yeah,
Right,
Doom
right.
the Dark
Shut the
Ages.
F up.
We talked about
Yes.
it last week, and we kind of talked about how it was a different game than Eternal, and you
Very
really
different.
liked Eternal. What do you think of this
Loved
one?
Eternal. I would say it's probably top 3 FPS. So I have to say I loved Eternal for the verticalness, for the flying around the maps, just the sheer.
It was
like,
more of a rhythm game
craziness.
too, wasn't it? Do you agree with me, Matt? Because
Yeah, it's more flowy. In
Yeah.
Eternal, I could get in that flow state instantly and just be
Right.
slaughtering enemies, and it would just be instinct. So this game grounds you hardcore. You can still fly across the battlefield. I'm telling you guys what you already know, but you can still fly across the battlefield. You can still be fast, but you can't zip anywhere. You can't like escape the battle quickly just to like recoup and maybe attack it from a different angle.
Well, that's different than my experience because when I talked about it last week, because I kept getting low health, whatever, and I would there's 8 guys in front of me. I would just run away from them and try to find
can
every
run.
shard and thing, health thing, right, and then come back
Sure.
and then
but
like,
I'm saying
it's more
Eternal,
old school than Eternal, I think.
Absolutely. No, yeah, it feels much
Yeah.
more like the old like strafing.
They're
You
saying it
Yes.
feels like
can't jump, you're
Hexen.
just a tank.
O'Malley was saying it's a Hexen sequel.
Yeah.
No, Hexen was like a vertical flying game, wasn't
Well,
it?
you're slower and more lumbering, like
What am I
Matt's
thinking
saying.
of?
You have the melee shield and the flails later and all that stuff,
And
so
that
you're
feels
more
good.
grounded.
So
Oh no, Hexen wasn't
when you
that.
finally accept what this game is, so I had to stop playing like Eternal, and I think I didn't like it at first because like I want to fly around, I want to jump to that cliff over there, and once I started like, okay, let's use the shield, let's use the gauntlet, let's see what they're trying to get me to do, and once I keyed into that, it started getting much more satisfying. Yeah, especially in the big open world hub type levels where you're just a one-man army, you're picking where you want to go next, you're picking who you want to slaughter, and you're just in a field of people with all these different red and green things coming at you. You got to parry at the right time. And that for me is when I got into the flow. And it took a lot longer than Eternal. So I just find this one, I don't know. I think I prefer Eternal still in terms of just the fluidity of the combat. I still love what I'm playing right now. I love the dragon sequences when you're flying around the fortress and air combat. I love the big
Did you like the big mech
sequences? I liked it, didn't love it.
I loved that's my favorite thing. I thought that was the most badass thing.
But at the end of the day, you're just a normal sized dude with miniature sets, just with really slow melee controls. And I'm just like, it didn't do much for me. I was like, this is cool, but as a game, I just felt really slow.
Right, like any guy could get in a mech suit. I want to be Doom guy.
Wait, you felt slow? What do you mean?
Okay, so I'm talking about like I didn't feel like I was a giant robot because the
that
sets
sequence
didn't look that great. Like you're walking through the city, crumbling the bridges, and that was kind of cool. Oh, by the way, this game is great when it comes to just destruction. Like things crumble, like walls fall apart and stuff. I think that's a good touch.
That's a big change from
and you could blow up shit for no apparent reason too, like vents and stuff, and you know.
Yeah, the switching weapons is a little annoying for me. I don't know if it's just a tiny bug, but I'll pull up this shoulder button and it won't highlight which weapon I'm trying to pick. And it's that half second of delay. It just makes it annoying to switch up weapons.
John was saying he actually loved it on mouse and keyboard, not as much as on controller. But maybe, John, you can relate. He's saying the bumper button to pull up. You like the game better on mouse and keyboard. I was telling Matt.
Oh, absolutely. Fuck yeah.
So
I mean, I'm an old school, but I'm an old school Quake player. Like, you know, like this is more like Quake to me than... listen, I never really loved Doom. I just didn't. I was a Quake guy. Okay,
not even the last two games.
I mean, Eternal was fine, but it felt more like a rhythm game. I had to keep that cadence going with the smashing and
that's what I loved about it. So that's what I'm missing with Dark Ages. I think.
So this feels more like a throwback game to me. And mouse and keyboard and Matt, the game felt so much faster on my PC. I can't explain to you how much faster than on my Xbox. Like the Xbox, like when I came down here and played on my PC, it was a totally different experience. It was like a different game.
Like speed, it felt
faster. Maybe because I had a ultra wide and my FOV cranked and all that.
That shouldn't your reaction speed and timing unless you're playing at a higher FPS. That would be why.
Well, I was playing at a higher FPS for sure. But it felt faster, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Or smoother. It felt faster and smoother. Or
maybe more fluid, you know? And
it's a good-looking game, mostly.
I think it's a fine-looking. There's nothing bad about how this game looks.
It's not blowing me away, but I don't think...
go ahead. I was going to say, last week, I've been hearing like people kind of almost dissing this game a little bit, though.
You got the Eternal diehards that are going to be like, it's not as good. And I agree with them, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. Like, Eternal for me is a 9.5. This is a solid 8.
Would you have wanted just Eternal 2.0, though? Like, are you glad they did something different? That's sort of what people are saying, too, though.
Like I said, I'm enjoying, but if I had a choice, I'd say, make Eternal 2. Just do Eternal again with a brand new campaign, different setting. I would be completely happy. Okay. But you got to respect that they took another swing, and I think they put together a really interesting combat system here. And if you give it time, I think you can get into it. It's not giving me the same flow as Eternal.
Well, the boomerangy shield saw thing is definitely cool.
Yeah.
And
fun. That's the clang when you hit something, and like,
right.
It is cool getting up close to these things, just like bashing the shit out of them with your gauntlet and your little mace thing too. So I like it. It's like I said, solid 8. I'm really enjoying myself.
That's good. And I mean, good Game Pass stuff. Like all these things are Game Pass here, like Claire Obscure, The Dark Ages, Blueprints, Oblivion was John. And then I think you also played Revenge of the Savage Planet, which Game Pass as well, right?
Oh yeah, very very quickly. Have you guys tried that yet?
Can I add one? I just want to add one thing to Doom. I want to see what Matt thinks. The one thing that when I went into this Doom medieval thing, I don't think they really delivered on the whole medieval thing. Do you?
Yeah, I was hoping for a heavy metal type vibe.
Yeah.
Like, the old school, like Boris Karloff painted, like just like hardcore heavy metal. It hasn't really gotten too medieval for me yet. I mean, I'm in a castle, I guess, but it's like a space castle.
Yeah.
Felt medievally, but they couldn't go too far because the shooter at the end of the day.
I know. I guess. But
Maybe
I went into it thinking I was going to feel like I'm in Skyrim with guns. Like,
But do you remember the heavy metal magazines or Heavy Metal 2000?
Well, the heavy metal movie, the cartoon, right? What about that?
Yeah, like I love that vibe of medieval. Yeah. Like I want a Doom game like that. Journey to the Savage Planet or Revenge.
Yeah, the sequel,
really quickly.
Right?
Tell me about that. I saw it. I didn't do it.
I think you and Matt would get a kick out of this. It's couch co-op, which is always welcome. So me and my son have been playing this. You crash land. You have to build your base back up by doing experiments, finding things. It's a very basic premise, but it's very silly. It's very Ratchet and Clanky. They've filmed a bunch of fake ads that play in your house that you can watch. There's a funny story that goes on in the background. Everything just feels kind of silly and irreverent, and you just kind of bounce around with your buddy, just ticking off objectives. So if you're okay with that, it doesn't get too deep. You're just collecting animals. You're building a little zoo. You're collecting new 3D.
So is this like a kids game or?
No, it's a step up. Like it's still, you're doing complicated things. But it's not hard. I don't say it's a kids game though. It seems like
goofy.
a chill space goofy adventure.
Like a No Man's Sky kind of, or
no?
No Man's Sky light, very light. There's about 5 different planets, but they're really just like a very small open hub level. And so you just collect more resources. You build new things on your 3D printer.
Can you play alone?
You can play alone, and there's a big component that you're buying stuff to like populate your house. So you can buy a whole new bedroom set. You buy like pinball machines. So it's almost like, you're just kind of homesteading.
John, it's kind of a survival craft. I don't think it's for you.
Yeah.
You don't like crafting.
I don't think it is either. That's why I didn't install it. I saw it. I'm like,
yeah.
If you're a parent with
go arrest
like
some
a
dudes.
9-year-old, 8-year-old, perfect game, I think. And me and Xander are having a lot of fun with it. And I recognize it's not like the best game ever, but playing with someone couch co-op is always fun. No matter
Did you
what
and
you're
Xander
doing.
play Grounded? I forget.
No, but I
You
think
should
now
try
we have
that.
to. I think he's old enough,
that was on
for
Game
sure.
Pass. It may still be, and it's actually a good game now.
That's an excellent
Obsidian,
recommendation. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's South of Midnight too. It was great, but I think you guys already.
But another Game Pass game, like you say. So
the Game Pass game.
It's been a good time. Well, good.
Good
What are you
time,
drinking?
and I'm drinking Coke Zero. And someone asked, "Are the Halo boys still going?" We are. 5 years running. We're getting more into Helldivers 2 these days, but we're still terrible, so you don't want to play with us. We're bad. Yeah.
All right, there you go.
We've got a lot of news, a lot of stuff
We
that's been
do.
going on.
Really?
And I know,
What's
John, the
happening?
biggest story you wanted to talk about was Cookie Clicker releasing on PS5 and PS4 and Xbox and Switch. I don't even want to bring this up because Cookie Clicker is such a big topic here that people like to give me Michelle, you've got your big PC to play Cookie Clicker. Guys, I played that for like 2 weeks. But John, are you going to play this again on your
I've got
PlayStation?
hundreds of hours in the Cookie Clicker. Okay, I just do.
I'm glad this free browser game that went to Steam is now coming.
But here's
so
okay. The reason I wanted to talk about this though, because I saw this that it's coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox, Switch, and Switch 2. And I'm like, what? You're gonna leave your Switch on overnight to like? That's the whole point of this game.
Yeah.
Really? Are people gonna do this?
Yeah. No, nobody's going to play Cookie Clicker on their Switch. I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think so?
It doesn't work. No.
Like Greenpeace is going to shut these guys down, wasting all this electricity.
Anything for the cookies. No, Matt, have you been following anything with Marathon and Bungie? Were you excited about Marathon? Because they're in hot water again for stealing
but
art.
I saw the artist thing.
Yeah. And now the demo was like, people hated the alpha. And then during their live stream, they couldn't even show any footage of the game because they didn't know if like stolen artwork was in it. So people are saying it's like DOA.
Okay, well, so this is a big problem, okay? Because everything about Marathon that intrigued me was the art style, okay?
Okay.
And it turns out they lifted that entire art style for some woman, I think.
Well, all the posters or whatever.
But that kind of informed informed the style of everything, though, Michelle. Right. That color palette, that almost cyberpunky font, barcode. I mean, cyberpunk has some of that stuff too in it. But that kind of informed the entire look of the game.
Sure.
they are fucked.
They're fucked.
They're absolutely
It was
fucked.
already kind of fucked before this because people said the alpha was so bad and it was boring and not going to work. And then this art thing kind of nailed in the coffin for them.
That's insane that someone would make that decision, though. Like, that seems like
that's
putting so much at risk. I thought it was a placeholder. That was the excuse, right? It's still in beta. So
but it doesn't matter, though. Even if they used a few things in there, they took that idea and then amplified it times 100, right? Whatever
or do you think
was.
that idea fit in with their color scheme they were already going for? Do you think that they just found that art because it matched the tone they were already establishing?
You know what?
I guess,
Either way, they're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Now they have to find, how do you prove something like that wasn't inspired to something else? And they're going to owe them a lot of money. They're going to have to take out all this
Either
stuff.
way, it's
and
bad. Yeah,
it's bad
not good
optics. And you're a big
already
company. It's
bad
not like you're a
situation.
small. It was two people and somebody made a mistake. I mean, Bungie did this, and it just.
But
looks
all
bad
the
on whole
Bungie
company,
guys, the employees, were following that artist too, like on Twitter.
Oh, that's
It
not
just
good
looks
either.
bad.
Ugh.
Yeah, like they were sharing it, and it was
Dumb
like
decisions.
Yeah.
But I
doesn't look
mean, I guess, like when you have a lower level person that, that's not management, that's guiding the ship, and they can influence something, and you don't really realize where they got it from.
Yeah,
You just trust
don't-
that they did their
maybe
job.
Yeah,
Right.
what?
One person can make
trust
the whole
that-
team look bad.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think creative directors go through each graphic or each asset and are like, do we own this? Is this stolen? Like, they just kind of trust that their people are doing the right thing. Or
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
So-
I do like Bungie. I did like Bungie. I guess
this is bad. It looks bad on them. They got to
Yeah.
pay this artist.
Bungie
bring him
has
on
a
the team.
pretty good track
Marathon
record, really,
is
with
DOA.
Halo.
You know what
and-
else might be DOA?
I think it is too. Yeah.
Fair Games. Jade Raymond has left PlayStation's Haven Studios, and rumors are Fair Games with the $. Is that what it is? Fair Game $, or just Fair Games? May not be. Maybe Concord 2.0.
Oh, no. What was
Yeah.
their game they were working on?
It was a shooter. Fair Games, right?
Oh, fair. Okay, that's what it was. I thought that was the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so
that
I don't
sounds-
know, John. Are you thinking that they're gonna kill the
Sony's
game
dead?
before it comes out, or because you're the official
I-
Sony's dead guy? So I just didn't know.
I mean, I think there's been a lot of big stories of games failing the last year or two,
People
right?
are very hesitant.
And I
She's
think
out.
I think
yeah.
everyone's a little gun shy now to take
Mhm.
risks in certain directions.
Will
And
they
maybe
stop
this,
development? Will they still release it? Nobody really knows right now, but it's not looking good.
I mean, Sony's already proven that they're willing to just take a loss. Concord was a massive fucking loss, right?
Mhm.
And they just decided to pull the plug on it completely instead of trying to make it better with everybody.
Yeah.
So maybe they learned a lesson and said, you know what? Let's just kill this thing sooner than later. This is going in the same direction. Let's just get rid of it. Now, Jade really hasn't done much since leaving Ubisoft, right? She did Stadia, right? She was involved with that.
she's
Nothing
involved
happened.
with a lot of things that are failing.
But she was involved with
Good job,
Assassin's
Jade.
Creed, though. I mean, she kind of launched that series.
Yeah, but if you look into it,
What do you mean? Look into what? She did. That was her
she
baby.
right?
So
Yeah. How many years ago? And what did she do on it? Because right now I'm seeing a bunch of failures from her.
Jane Raymond is a Canadian video game producer best known for helping create Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, those are the two games that have defined Ubisoft since those were created, right? Every game is a ripoff of those games. Like Ghost Recon turns into Watch Dogs or Assassin's Creed. Like
Yeah,
the
they just
open
kept
world Far
rehashing
Cry.
and
Right, the
recycling.
Far Cry becomes one of those games, right? Like everything is that game, like that model, right?
Or spun off of it, right?
So she could be half the problem with.
Yeah, I think she's the problem here. No, I just feel like they're hesitant after Concord, and maybe they didn't want to keep going with it. Maybe this is a sign that she's leaving, and yeah, maybe Fair Games may not happen either. So we'll see what happens.
But Stadia though, like that was short lived with her too, though. Like remember, we were all. I was at least excited.
You were excited.
I-
What are you talking? Oh, that's right. You bought StadiaPodcast.com.
Yes. And when I
You
heard
invested
that
interest in
Jade,
this.
when I heard that Jade was like part of that Stadia thing, she was going to lead development of making new properties
Yeah.
and games. I thought they had a chance because of her
way.
pedigree at the time.
Google
right?
Graveyard. They abandoned so much shit.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of this? Matt, you're a Hideo Kojima fan. He has an amazing idea for a forgetting game where the main character gradually forgets important information and abilities if you take too long of a break from playing. What do you think of this?
I hate that idea so much. I saw that too. I'm like, you genius bastard. I get what he's trying. It would be fun, maybe, but I got.
But that happens naturally as a player.
Days.
As a player, though, if you
he wants to punish you for having like something to do outside of the game.
I know, but okay. So if I take a break from a game for, if I go back to Breath of the Wild right now or Tears of the Kingdom, there's going to be things I've completely forgotten about how that game works. Right, I have to relearn it.
Totally.
So you naturally have that penalty, right?
So what he's doing is just middle-age simulator. He's just saying like, okay, young kids, here's what middle-aged people
game. You have 3 children, you're fucked. Get back to gaming. That's what he's doing. Yeah, it's funny.
I don't like it.
Some big news, Stellar Blade 2 has been announced officially coming out before 2027. We sort of knew that. It's coming out to PC.
Got some
I'll probably check it out. Why?
De novo.
Oh, that's different. This is Stellar Blade 2 has been announced, coming out before 2027.
Stellar Blade 2?
Yes, they're going on with it. The Stellar Blade is coming to PC in
and people are saying it has...
nobody likes de novo. It fucks with performance and shit. And then other big stuff that people were talking about today.
I might revisit that game. If that runs good on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I'm going to try it.
I love that game. That game was awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to play it.
Yes.
Yeah, when it comes to PC. You haven't played, Matt, right?
No.
Okay.
Not. Maybe that'll be like a PlayStation Plus thing.
Yeah, a lot of people really like this game. And then Randy Pitchford said something stupid again that I just want to bring up. He said that if you're a real Borderlands fan, you'll find a way to make it happen, even though the game is $80 or could be $80. People kind of felt like he was saying like, well, you aren't a real fan if you can't afford to play the game. So
and then it was kind of offhanded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
I
think Nintendo gave everyone permission to do this.
You just don't say that out loud. Like, I get what he's saying, like, but
Did
if you
you
were
see
really
Devolver?
a fan of
Get
my
what he's
games,
saying.
you'd buy it.
Did you see Devolver Digital's response to this?
No, because I know it was a big thing today.
They said you could buy 4 of our games for 1 Borderland.
Yeah.
And they're not wrong either. But look, all he's saying is if you're a Borderlands fan, you'll probably buy it. And
listen, Nintendo gave everyone permission to charge $80, so just deal with it. The precedent has been set. This is going to happen all the time.
Yeah,
now.
these people have to sell games based on a good game, not just fandom, and you have to earn it. So he can't just say because you're a fan, you're going to.
GTA is $100.
Not to be this guy. But when I was a kid, I waited until games were half price or I could buy them.
But they hold their value, some of them do, but not Borderlands. It's going to go on sale. Sorry, Randy.
It was a dick thing to say, but it's not right. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm going to pay the extra money because gaming is my passion. I'm probably going to make decisions so I can afford that.
Yep.
I'm not happy, but like it is a reality. I'm going to find
a way
to play the games I want.
If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. He didn't just say
people are super touchy right now. Gamers are like everyone's raising prices. Anyone who raises a price right now is immediately the villain. So
especially coming off Clair Obscur for what, 45? I think when it first came out, it was 35 on CD keys. People are like, well, I can play this 100-hour RPG or whatever, and so it's just a touchy time.
That studio is kicking themselves because next Clair Obscur 2 is going to be a full price, whatever the current price is for that day.
I don't think they're kicking themselves because it was a smaller team with lower costs, so they could price it affordingly, right?
Maybe it got it out there. Maybe the price point got it out there more.
I think it was hugely profitable because the team wasn't 2,000 people; it was 30, right? So they didn't have to charge that much.
Yeah.
True. So here's some big news. Yes.
I want to talk about this.
Sure.
So there's a bunch of stories about this that Microsoft is rumored right now to be testing.
Yes, that's what I was going to bring up. Good.
Oh, it is?
Yes. I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
Steam integration within the Microsoft Store, potentially for the next gen Xbox 2.
I heard that.
Xbox and Steam are heading into the next generation, but steps are already being taken as Microsoft has just added the Steam application to the support software for its devices, appearing under the name of Steam Developer Beta. This, of course, is currently only available to certain employees and people who collaborate with Microsoft to provide support or develop certain things. So
originally I thought it was just for the handheld that's coming out because it's going to be the handheld version of Windows, which will run Steam. But now people are saying this is for the Xbox console. It will allow users to run Steam directly from Xbox environments, any Xbox environment. So how well it will
this
work.
Is fucking
But let's say
huge.
Stellar Blade, for example,
Yeah,
it's
that's a
not
game
out on
changer.
Xbox. It's only out on Steam and PlayStation or whatever. Then you just play Stellar Blade because you have your Steam running on your Xbox, and now it makes your Xbox console interesting for the living room. Right?
It's huge. Yeah.
You think it's huge?
I do. I
think
listen.
it's pretty big if it's true.
Listen, the direction we're heading in, and we have been for the last 10, 15 years, is that proprietary hardware is done, right? And we're basically going to like just a PC platform, essentially, right? So the Xbox just becomes a living room PC, right? Essentially, and if it is a living room PC, then why not have Steam and the Microsoft Store and give people choices, right? And they're just making living room PCs. Doesn't that make sense completely, Michelle?
Yeah, but I mean, it's the power of it, and if not being optimized or running well in that environment, right? That's the thing, because you're talking about Steam running on your Xbox. They're going to have to, Microsoft is going to have to do the work to make it run well.
Well, how about this, though? What if they define the video card in the next Xbox as being equal to X video card that's in the PC?
Or there's different versions, like of the next Xbox, where there's like the Pro version, and they right on launch, it's like not later, but like here's.
But if it's
versions.
literally just a PC, though, then it's on the developers, and Steam has always been
PlayStation
to
is
make
not
their
putting
game.
their games on Xbox, but with this, it's a loophole. You're technically got your PlayStation games on your Xbox through PC, which is Steam.
Yes.
So that's the thing, because PlayStation has so many exclusives that are on PC, and Xbox is putting their games everywhere. So for somebody that can only own one console, right now the only choice, unfortunately, is kind of...
So this article I'm reading right now on Gaming Bible basically says what I just said. I've been telling you the next generation Xbox is going to be more like a PC than a console. Everything's going to be developed around PC environments. Right?
Well, they're going to be working with AMD, probably with certain cards.
Well, whatever.
maybe.
If it's just a PC, let's just call it what it is. It's a PC.
It's easier to run Xbox on a PC than a PC on an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What?
they're kind of... It's easier to run Xbox on a PC, like we do with our app, than it is to put a PC on an Xbox. So maybe they're just reversing it. They're just...
Yeah. If it's just a PC...
Call it a PC.
If you have if I have a laptop, a shitty laptop, an HP, I can run a shit ton of games on Steam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have an HP tower, you can run a bunch of games automatically on Steam.
Don't put
it's
that
the same
curse
thing.
on me. I got an
What?
HP tower, you know?
I'm just being like a generic PC, right? Like when you go to Best Buy and just buy, right? You can play some games no matter what, right?
Right.
So if the Xbox is just a PC, some flavor of a PC, it has the same limitations of every PC that's at Best Buy, right? So who cares?
It's also going to work like this on the handheld that's coming, that's branded, right? It's already going to have this
that
both on it.
handheld's stupid. That Asus handheld's dumb. I'm sorry.
Well, if people can play Xbox games and their
They
PC
can't.
games,
It's
they'll be
a
happy.
PC. Yeah.
Right, but they have Game Pass. Game Pass is the Trojan horse of everything here. So, if people can get Game Pass cheap, because you can't get Game Pass on PlayStation, you can't get Game Pass on your Switch. So I don't think it's totally dumb for the right person who wants Game Pass and Steam. Game Pass and Steam together easily. Now, John, we did get sent something to you. Matt, you might appreciate this because you're a Sony guy. Jim B said, for John, PlayStation generates more revenue than Xbox and Nintendo combined, at $31.7 billion.
Oh, God.
So he wants you to stop saying that Nintendo is king at $8 billion, Xbox is $22 billion, and PlayStation is $31.7 billion.
I don't know.
more than
I'd
both
have
of
to
them
understand.
combined.
I'd have to understand the overhead and profitability, the P&L of all this.
He said, "Stop with the Sony is dead."
Sony's dead. Listen, Sony is the least interesting.
No. Address his question. Don't
Yes,
just
he says,
repeat.
"Why are you
No,
saying
no,
they're
but
dead
there's
when they
more
make
to this, though.
Nintendo is the worst, doing the worst, and you talk about them like they're king."
All right, let's talk about this though. If PlayStation revenue is $31.74 billion, okay,
Yes,
but their expenses are $30 billion.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Nintendo makes $8.94 billion, but their expenses are $4 billion. Nintendo's actually the more profitable company.
Though?
It's P&L.
Revenue?
Though you're
This
just
is-
talking.
No, this is just revenue. This is just revenue. Okay, this is
Okay.
gross. Okay.
Sounds
So
like a
we-
politician explaining.
No,
a
no.
bad
I'm just
business
saying
deal.
Nintendo is a leaner company, more creative company, and I'm willing to bet that their net is higher than Sony's.
You think Sony is spending more money? That's why they're making more.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't know, John. I'd have to look at what it means because the revenue could have profits built in. I can't speak on this, but apparently Jim wants you to know that Sony is not dead.
No, I don't think so. They're just talking about gross. It's not the same. Okay,
right.
So they're not doing good. This is bad news.
No, this is bad news. This is a bad chart I'm looking at.
I'm embarrassed to even turn that thing on.
Okay.
Matt, I mean, recently I've been closing the blinds and putting a blanket over the TV when I boot that thing. Okay.
Whenever you play Astrobot, you're just like,
I don't want people. I don't want that label on me.
Who has the higher
Sony
stock
Pony?
price? Dog says. I don't know. I haven't looked at the Japanese stock market. To know what's going on over there. Microsoft would probably have the highest price.
Yeah, CC Games says Nintendo has way more money than Sony. It's not even close. Exactly.
Well, Microsoft has the most. So, I mean, if you want to go to who has the most money, right?
Yeah, but Microsoft has all that money because of Windows.
Because of the Windows they're putting on their next Xbox, and because of Windows is. I mean, that's what they're going to capitalize on. I mean,
every computer has Windows, and most businesses have Office, so that's where their money's coming from.
Yeah.
Now,
John,
it's enterprise.
Matt, we have to kind of let him talk about this here. He wanted to talk about the Switch 2 release. There's going to be like. There's midnight launches. You have the article here. Switch 2 GameStop launch event.
Oh, this is going to be a big deal.
This is what I've been dealing with for the past couple weeks.
We're going back to 2005 with the excitement. People lining up, lots of lawn chairs.
Right.
What? So GameStop's doing a big Switch 2 midnight release. Didn't pre-order a Switch? Don't worry. We'll have more available at midnight, they say. Mm-hmm. Launch event begins in store at 3 p.m. local time. Pickup start at 12 a.m. Eastern on June 4th. I guess that's June 5th.
Would you camp out for this
that guy will be first in line?
But actually, the reason I put this article in there was this next line. Select stores will also be handing out a free can of Red Bull.
Wow.
To every guest.
Just one can?
This is why I shared this article. I remember now. So I think it's okay. So you're gonna get in line for 10 hours, 8 hours to get a $3 can of fucking Red Bull.
Yeah,
that you're gonna drink.
Nintendo juice. Good call. Here's the article I wanted to go with. Nintendo president says Switch 2's price is a key factor in their lower than expected sales projections.
You're stupid because they just announced 20 million units.
I'm reading news. Why are you calling me
you're reading
stupid?
fake news because you're selecting the bad news.
No,
what?
I'm not. We just read your positive news. I'm saying there's lower.
No. Why don't you read the current news? Nintendo raises Switch 2 sales forecast to 20 million units.
That's because the Red Bull drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you read the correct?
Why don't you read the correct news? Your
Radar.
Jobber says Sony stock is $28.50. Nintendo's only $19.9. Sony's
How many
worth
shares?
more in the stock
Tell me
market.
more about this. How many shares
share
are there?
Split? Yeah, we don't know. That's not the truth.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, there's semantics. There's details. You're just looking at surface stuff here. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Pulled from my bag of tricks. Don't encourage him, guys.
Now, Michelle, though, on the John Show today, which is on our app and Discord, I always do like Nintendo news, and every Nintendo news article I found on my walk was talking about Samsung approaching Nintendo about how they want to supply the OLEDs for the next version. Literally every fucking... So what do you think about this? Huh?
Well, because a lot of people are probably holding off for that and hoping it's Christmas. Would that get you interested in that?
Not this year. Not this year.
Oh.
I thought
there's no way
it's June. What are you talking about?
No, we're saying that the OLED version, would that get you interested in a Switch too? Because this LCD screen, they've gone backwards.
I mean, if I were to buy one, I'd wait for an OLED for sure.
Yeah.
I think if I were actually interested, I'd wait for an OLED.
What would make you interested? The next Zelda? Or are you just kind of over it?
I think Mario I'm kind of over it. I think maybe a Mario Galaxy might bring me back.
Not Galaxy. No.
Odyssey? Like an Odyssey 2.
You. No more Galaxy, please.
An old school Zelda, Return of Zelda.
Yeah.
Maybe better launch games, I think, or maybe just some really cool first party titles from other developers.
Yeah, because how much are they in Canada? What is that for you? Like 500 something?
It's I think it's gonna be like $600 at the end of the day, and that's like
for you for the Nintendo stuff. Sounds like you're over it. Now. Yeah. Well, if you were a real fan,
come out with a system
as Randy Pitchford would say, you would make this happen. Now, John is a real fan.
I will have this one day, like 2 years down the road, so I can pick and choose.
You're going to wait that long?
I want the library to build because right now
I could never wait that long.
But I don't see here's play the new Mario Kart.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
And with the Switch 2, though, there is a promise of your older games being better on it, like Mario Party, which I do like. I do like the last Mario Party. And they're adding a bunch of new features
the mobile
and games
Mario
and stuff.
Party has to run better on my device.
No. They're adding new stuff to it, though. That's going to take advantage of the mouse and all that shit. And I guess Fortnite has announced that they're going to support the mouse. Now, there's no way in the world that's a good mouse. I'm just telling you. That mouse is going to be stupid.
Yeah, but wait till they sell a Nintendo mouse.
Well, or can I Bluetooth my Razer mouse to it, my Bluetooth my keyboard? That's a different story. If they could allow that, okay, now we're talking with Metroid Prime, right? To have a real mouse and a real keyboard. Maybe I bring it down here.
That was the whole
plug it.
point of getting away from PCs. People don't like mouse and keyboards. Now you guys are putting them on your console, your handheld
Okay, well, how about
consoles.
this? Well, you know what what you're saying is valid though. But what if Nintendo's sitting there going, okay, our big competition in this space at this moment
are the handheld PCs? Yeah,
is the Steam Deck. Okay,
sure.
And people are plugging mice and keyboard into that thing, right?
Yep.
So what if we include the mouse on the device? It's always there. Something they never thought of. Right,
their controller. That's what you're saying. Their strategy.
Yeah. So the Joy-Cons are essentially two mice. If you disconnect them, you have two mice. Right. So now, what if Steam? And I predict this is going to happen. Steam and Valve or somebody is going to, or Microsoft or Logitech, whatever. They're going to maybe build a mouse into their next handheld. I wouldn't be surprised if this creates that scenario.
How are you going to fit some bulbous mouse in your?
Well, just like Nintendo did. You take the Joy-Con off, you hold it vertically. I know. Well, listen, when I really want to get Steam Decky with deck
grab
mode,
a laptop, okay?
I have, on the side, but I have a Bluetooth small gaming keyboard and a Bluetooth Razer mouse that is for my Steam Deck.
Or
and
the
I travel
dock
with
has
it.
some sort of mouse that you just plug in right to the dock.
Yeah, maybe.
They have docks. Or what did you guys see that you want to talk about? Because news has been really flooded.
I thought you said it was amazing. I thought we went into this.
Some good news
you
stories.
declared how great the news was.
Did you not see the 10 good stories I just brought? What are you talking about? I'm saying, what else do you guys have? Because I'm out of my news.
Okay, one sec. You guys watching Murderbot by any chance?
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Skarsgård, right?
I saw the first one. It's funny. It's a good sci-fi.
My kids keep talking about that show where someone dies every episode. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Tell me more. What's it on? A little bit more. I just need a tiny bit more.
The chat would know. Yeah, someone dies horribly every episode.
Black Mirror?
No.
You guys don't.
Only murders.
Both of my daughters are talking about this show. Like one of the episodes, a girl goes into a tanning salon, and they tell her not to bring a drink in, and she does.
Final
and
Destination?
Yes, that's it. Yep.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never seen a Final Destination?
Yeah. No, I've never seen that.
Classic, dude. Yeah, you gotta catch
they're
up.
Silly.
Are they
super silly?
They're silly. Yeah,
they're good.
Weird, outlandish shit.
I
yeah,
thought
the
it
new
was a
movie
show.
just came out.
I guess I sound old.
Yeah.
One of those moving pictures.
I was
It's
really
one of
confused
those-
because I'm
it's
like,
one of
I
those
pretty much have
shows.
heard of every show. What's going on? They're really campy.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're supposed to be campy though. It's just like Rube Goldberg machines about how people die. Like it.
Okay.
Yep.
Death just sets off this weird sequence
Bachelor
of
says
events.
welcome
You know-
to 1999,
Well-
John. Yes.
Somehow this skipped my radar until this past
I don't know
weekend.
where you were, like, Matt, when we were like, I don't know, when you and I were like 12, I don't know what John was doing. Like he's in the early 90s, this guy has like no memory of anything that was happening.
What do you mean?
in
The
the late
Matrix
90s.
In the theater?
What are you
Yeah,
talking
like
about?
the whole
That's not
90s
true.
was, you were like, you were
Did you ever
out
see The
with your
Faculty?
band or something. Like you missed a whole
I
like
was.
chunk of
I
like
was
movies,
gigging. That was
TVs,
when I was-
gaming, like when you were gigging. Yeah. He seems to have like a gap of a certain
I do.
time.
I
like
think
my
I think
youth.
it's true. I think
Yeah.
I think my early 20s
A lot of
I was
drinking. Yeah.
out nonstop, never home.
Yeah, I think you missed a lot of movies, TV,
Yeah.
and like music or whatever. Maybe not music, but
Not
movies,
music,
TV,
not music.
gaming,
No.
'cause,
I
when-
was locked into music.
big when
then.
Matt and I were kids. You were gigging, and you missed some good shit. Because sometimes I'm like,
We were
how have
latchkey
you not
kids.
seen
Or
that?
I was.
I wasn't. But yeah, news wise, what else, John? Matt, anything? Come on. Let's close this out with a good one. But we got Matt
okay,
here.
Stellar Blade sequel. No, okay, we did that. Oh shit.
See, I told you I took everything.
Yeah, you kind of leaked Battlefield 6. No. Nicholas was turning.
Iconic adventure game. Oh no, that's stupid.
Death Stranding 2. When's that releasing? Because I'll definitely be on here.
Yeah, come. Yeah,
Hideo said that that stealth game he's working on. That what's the next game he's got?
This is a good one. Sorry.
Yeah,
Last of Us says they're working on a second unannounced Naughty Dog game. So could this be Last of Us 3? Like, what are we thinking?
What is this? New.
I think Last of Us is tainted as fuck now.
It is, but it does have a third. I think it has a third in it. If you love the story, I think there's a third one there. But what else could it be? Are they going to start 2 new IPs? That seems risky.
You're right. That would be weird to do 2 new IPs. And they already have gone through the remastering Last of Us a million times, so they need to do something new.
Could it be, a new Uncharted game?
You know what, though? HBO said they're not going to go past the content of the game material. And that makes me think if they get more game, material. Huh.
People are talking. Neil Druckmann is part of the show, and they just announced season 4.
Cece says it's Uncharted.
Oh, Uncharted.
Well, that could work.
I'd like a new Uncharted.
Yeah, that could work.
I'd love a new Uncharted.
Especially with how well Indy just did.
They
let that just die. Like,
yeah.
No, they ended it pretty well in The Thieves, whatever.
Yeah, they had that.
But they ended it with his daughter.
I know, but it's not a topic anymore. It's just like in the classic library.
Those are classic games. Like, those are amazing for their time.
No, I like Uncharted quite a bit. I think it's whatever. It's okay. I don't like the gunplay as much, but
yeah.
Well, the story I was going to talk about was Hideo says his next game, which is an espionage game, is 5 to 6 years away.
Okay.
Do we care? This is
like
the next
Metal Gear? Fans
Gear?
Probably care. They just love everything probably the next Metal Gear.
Right, this is like his next
far away to
Metal Gear.
It's hard to care about stuff like that for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's just too far off. Because you never know. That could turn into 10.
Right.
It's too long.
And this was just like part of one thing in an interview where he says like, yeah, I'm working on a game. It's about 5 or 6 years off. Like, he probably
but he mentioned before that he's doing like a Metal Gear type game, right? Like
a Metal Gear?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is a Metal Gear's spiritual successor. It's called
And then he
Ficent.
says he might finally direct a movie because he's getting older and would prefer to do it while he's still young. Isn't he like already?
That's what he wants to do anyways.
Yeah.
That's what he's always
his
wanted
games
to do is direct
are
a movie.
becoming more and more just movies, right? Like,
yeah.
so.
Well, Claire Obscure is already going to be a movie. So look, it's the hottest thing right now. Yeah. You didn't know that? Yep. Isn't that going to be awesome? That's going to be great.
They got to get
Jack Black is going to be in the Elden Ring movie I saw.
No, he's not.
I am a magician.
All right. Well, it was good to have you, Matt. If you want to catch up with Matt, he's still around. You can follow him on Twitter at Matt McFly. You're still around in our Discord. You're going to be back to review some other games. That's right. Matt's around, so you can come say hi. We do appreciate you guys for people still checking
Matt.
in. They say, "Where's Maddie?"
Thank you.
He's around.
That was fun.
So if you want to find us, though, during the week, too, you can head to videogameoutsiders.com. John and I are around as well in Discord. We do bonus shows. We do a 20-year back catalog called Ad-Free VGO. And next week, we have PSVR Frank coming on. So if you have any questions for him, he was working on Firewall 0 Hour a couple of years ago when we last talked to him. Now he's working on something else. And so we'll maybe catch up with him if you have any questions. I don't think we're doing like a VR show or anything, but we're always open to questions for that. So I think that's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, subbing, all that shit. We'll see you very soon. Video Game Outsiders. Out.
All of the letters never sent. I'm on the empty side of the bed. I'll never catch your eye again. It's all just ghosts of you and me. I always dreamed of a tree. you're still